Hello and welcome to Mastering Power BI video series. This is video number 4. In this video, we are going to learn about creating line charts and area charts in Power BI desktop. We are going to explore what are the options available for the customization on these two type of charts and what type of data set is perfect when it comes to the line charts and area charts. All right, so without much ado, let's go ahead, get into the Power BI desktop. Let's explore these two charts. All right, now we are in the blank Power BI desktop. We're going to load the data to understand the line charts and the area chart. Before I go ahead and load the data set into the Power BI desktop, it's very basic to understand when someone should think about a line chart visual or an area chart visual or a stacked area chart visual. So first thing, line chart. When you want to present a yearly trend of your sales value, how the sales is moving on every year. So in the last 5 years, the sale has gone an upward trend or a downward trend. Or you are analyzing for a year and you can analyze monthly trend or a quarterly trend. So whenever you're analyzing a trend of a number over a period, you need a line chart. Now, when I say trend over a period, obviously we are talking about the column involving dates. So when you're creating a visual for the trend, make sure that your data set has the date column. As we move on further in this video series, we will talk about data modeling. During that time, we will also talk about something called calendar table. So that calendar table will take care of all these kind of requirements related to the date side. It will be handled for you. But right now, because we are in the very preliminary stage of the learning, the data set is already ready-madely created and kept ready with the date column in it and categorical columns in it. But in reality, you might have to get this data set for the visual to come in from different tables. Yeah, so which we will see it in the upcoming videos. All right, so a line chart is for the trend. Then what is area chart? Area chart is also like the line chart, but the area below the line will be filled one. It will be filled with some colors. Okay, now is it the only difference? The answer is no. The area chart is the visual which you should think about when you're presenting the numbers cumulatively. For example, in the last 5 years, how my channel subscriptions have increased if I want to show it. So right from zero subscription and when I started the channel, how it moved on in the 5 years. So 10,000 subscribers, 20,000, a lakh, and then a million, and then 100 million subscribers. So if I want to show it in the 5 years, how the things are moved on. So we are talking about the numbers which are cumulatively growing. So those type of values when you're trying to present through a visual, area chart is the best one to go for it because you are showing the trend at the same time the area below it is also showing a kind of accumulation over a period. So that's where area chart plays in a very vital role. If area chart is really good, then why do we have stacked area chart? Now remember that we're all talking about just one categorical value over a period or one numerical value over a period. Example, the sales over a period, subscriptions over a period. Now let's say I want to analyze the subscription over a period for on 5 different countries. So the countries comes into play. So that means if I'm going to put it on a line chart, there will be 5 lines inside the chart talks about the trend of these 5 countries over a period. If I'm going to use an area chart, I'll have 5 different lines filled with different colors. But stacked area chart make this clumsy visual, which you get in line charts and area chart, more presentable, more understandable when you go for a stacked area chart. All right, so let's load the data set, and this data set is really amazing because using this data set we can understand the 3 visuals we are talking about in the real time. So let's load it. The data set I'm going to use for this particular video is an Excel. So I'm going to connect to that Excel by clicking on it. Go ahead and choose it. And to be on the safer side, we're going to transform the data. All right, so sheet one is the one which is holding the data. So I'm going to load just the sheet one, and I'm going to hit the transform data. And I'm going to zoom in just to make sure that do we have everything in place. Obviously, I have a date column because we're going to analyze or create the visual over a period. So we have the categorical columns like region and the vehicle category, the tire types, and we have the numerical values to analyze over a period. So I have the periodical column, which is date. I have the categorical columns, which are these three, and I have the numerical columns, which are these four. So I'm going to go ahead and rename this query to sales data, and I'm quickly checking on the data type on the Power Query on each column. Everything is perfect. On the applied step, I'm perfectly fine with what has been done as of now, so there is no much transformations here. All right, again, I'm saying that in case if you guys want to master the transformations of the data, please do follow the Power Query video series, which I'll be giving it to you in the description section, so you can master the transformation side. As this video series is purely on Power BI, we are not going to get in too much into the transformation side. All right, so things are perfectly fine. We're going to load this data into Power BI desktop. We're going to say close and apply. So we're going to wait for a moment to get the data set loaded in the Power BI desktop. So let's check out on the right side quickly on the data pane. We can see the query has been loaded. The one which I do not want here on the right side, I'm going to deactivate those panes. I don't need the filter. I don't need the okay, build. I don't need the format. I'll get it when I want it, but right now I just need the data. And I'm going to go ahead and get my visual from the insert tab. I'm going to create my first visual, which is a line chart. And I'm going to move to the right side so that it becomes easier for us to access and understand it. All right, so here we're going to expand the table and we want to analyze the revenue over years. So I'm going to just expand and get the years here. And this is showing me how the revenue has been growing or declining over a period. You can see there's a big drop in the year 2022 and then we picked up. And again, we are on the downtrend right from 2023 to 2025. So we definitely have to do something to improve the sale. All right. So this is a simple, visualization which tells me about how the things are. But let's talk about what are the customizations available for us when it comes to, the line chart visuals. So we're going to go ahead and get the format tab right now. So let's go to the view and get the format tab on the right side. And here we got the format tab. Well, I'm not going to get into the things which we already discussed during the bar chart visuals, like working on the titles, x-axis and y-axis, and secondary axis in case if you have the second y-axis on the right side. What is something special here is when you check in on the zoom slider, this is something special related to the line chart. So when I click expand it, but right now nothing is active because I haven't activated it. But when I go ahead and activate it, I get a kind of a slider for the y-axis as well as for the x-axis. Now this is needed when I want to focus on a particular period in my visual, and similarly based on values as well. Yeah, so this is something which I can focus, and this becomes really amazing when you have area charts, stacked area charts. But do remember, the zoom slider is something really special which you get it during the line chart, and it really makes sense when you have the period on the x-axis. Okay, so this is something which you can work out. I'm going to turn it off right now. That's something special for the line charts. And for the lines, you can see there are something special about here. So when you go here on the line, there is something which I want you to see here, especially where it says interpolation. So when I say smooth, before I go for smooth, watch the kind of the lines are very sharp wherever it breaks and takes again. But when I change it to smooth, the chart becomes something like this. Okay, now when I want to go for a step, the chart becomes something like this. So that is something really interesting which you get during the line chart visuals. So I'm going to put it back into the linear. So this is available under the line and interpolation. And then the next one we are going to check about is on the markers. Okay, so watch this. On the marker, you don't have the markers right now, so probably I can turn on that marker and you can see the markers over here. And how much what's the type of marker would you like to have? Let's say, for example, I would love to have kind of this one, and how much bigger I need it, and anything special related to the color, I can be very specific to the color as well. And you could see those are coming on these areas. So that is something specific to the line chart visual. So the line colors, everything you want to change, you can definitely change. And second thing, I want to show you that the line can be a solid line, can be a dashed line like this. You can also change the line to appear something like this. So the options are available under the line category for you to change the style of the lines, the kind of the a smooth or a step patterns are available under the interpolations. And to work on the markers, you got the markers to work with, and the rest is all what you already saw in the bar chart and the column chart. But there are specific things which we are not getting into right now. It will make sense when you get into the real-time projects and real-time analysis, like the error bars, the trend lines, anomalies. All these will make sense when we're going to handle the real-time cases. Okay, so the reference line is similar to what you saw already, the baselines which you learned in the column chart and the bar chart. Nothing else for the line charts. Now let's talk about the area chart. Okay, so what I'm going to do right now is, let's keep this chart away. I'm going to bring in an area chart. So let's go ahead and create an area chart. And in this area chart, I'm going to bring in again the year. And again, this time I'm going to go ahead and get my cumulative number. So look at the cumulative numbers, which I have it. So it shows the growth of the, let me zoom it. Okay, so it shows the growth over a period. And area chart gives me this kind of a filled area, and this also shows me the trend as well. So this is really one which you have to think about when you want to use area chart. So remember that this is a data where we already had a column cumulative revenue. I simply activated it and it worked out just like the cake. But in the reality, you might have to derive out to this cumulative revenue or the cumulative number by two different ways. One, you can use something called visual calculations, and you can use the option called running sum, which we will see it in the coming up videos. Or you can create a measure. We'll understand what is measure very shortly. And through the measure, you can create through the calculate and filter functions into built-in. Yeah, so those are possible to bring in, but the objective of this video is to show you the options available for the line charts and the area charts and the stacked area chart. Okay, but remember that the area chart is the one which you have to think about when you are trying to present a cumulative number over a period. All right, let's understand the format option available for the customization of the area chart. Title, x-axis, y-axis, everything is same. Again, you got the zoom slider for this one as well, and the lines are again available for you. Remember that option under the line. You still got the option like interpolation. You can change it to step. It looks like this. You can change it to smooth, which makes it to look like this. It's all up to you to decide which one you want to go for. So those options are there already under the line. But what's something special to the area chart? This is the one which is very special because shaded area, so which you can turn on. Suppose if you don't want to show that, you can turn it off, but it doesn't make sense. This is the only difference where it shows this is an area chart, so you can turn it on. and you can go ahead and change the color in case if you want to change the color. If I want to change the color of the shaded area, now watch it. I'm gonna go to the shaded area and I'm going to go to the color side. Now if I click on it, I'm not allowed to go ahead and change it because of this option which says match line color. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this off, so that gives me provision to go ahead and change the color of my choice. So I'm going to go ahead and choose the color of my choice. So let's say, for example, I would love to keep it like this. But do remember that the contradictory colors, sometimes it will not hold good in terms of visual hierarchy. It's always better to go with the lighter shade of your line color. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this on again so that it looks pretty presentable in the chart. All right, so in case if you want to change it, do remember you have to turn this off, and it gives you the option to change the color. You can increase or decrease the transparency if you feel it is too dark. So that's how you work on the area chart, shaded area. So you got option to change the line colors, you have the zoom slider, you got the shaded areas to work with. All those options are available for us. Rest is all the same. So I can turn on the data labels and it's gonna appear something like this. So you can see it's presenting how the the revenue cumulatively grown from 12 billion to 128 billion dollars over a period. So that's your area chart. Now let's talk about the stacked area chart. When do I have to go for a stacked area chart? Okay, to do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and create a line chart to show you the difference when you really have to think about the stacked area. So I'm going to click on the simple line chart, and let's bring the years on the x-axis, and let's bring the revenue, and let's bring the region. Now watch closely. Let me zoom it for you guys. So if right now I have a categorical column called region into picture, so each region has got a different color of line. Now sometimes people would say this is absolutely fine with me because this is what I want to see, because people want to study when a particular region is crossing over as in terms of positive or negative. They want to study in both the ways. There are places where you can see they are almost the same in certain periods. So if the requirement is like that, absolutely we can go for it. Let's say I want to see this in terms of volume as well. Then in that case, I can go ahead and turn this into a normal area chart like this. But the problem here is the coloring, the way you have to interpret is quite different. So these regions, which these are not ideally showing me clear idea what these shaded areas, especially when they intersect between the regions. So that's where stacked area will give us much more clarity. Watch it. I'm going to convert this into a stacked area chart, and it becomes much more legible for me to understand. So now I can see for each region how the trend is and what's the volume of the growth as well. So they are presented much more legibly, right? So when you bring in a categorical and you want to study the trend or as well as the volume growth, it is better you go for the stacked area chart. So let me get the customizations done for us here. So we're gonna go and drag this chart over here and this chart over here, and let's try to see what are the options available for us to do the customizations. All right, so let's go ahead, and this time we don't need the data pane because we're gonna work on the customizations. I'm gonna deactivate it so we get enough space here. Okay, so let's go ahead and start working on x-axis, y-axis, titles. We're not going to disturb that. Legends, well, legends, so let's look at something something same, because the legend is already there on the top, so I don't want to do anything over there. So that's perfect for me. Zoom sliders again for you, lines again, shaded areas, but this time you can change the colors for each in case if you want to change it. But remember that you have to deactivate this option in order to change the colors, but it's recommended that you don't go ahead and deactivate it in terms of maintaining the visual hierarchies. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and check on the line side. You still got that options under the interpolation. You can have it as a smooth like this. You can have it as a step like this. All right. So what I would stick with is a linear. So, but still you got the options to play around with it. Okay. So stacked area gives you much more. So let's bring in what else we can bring in. So the interesting part is the data label. Let's go ahead and activate it. And we got the data labels over here. But what am I missing is what the color. So it tells you here Africa is blue, America is the violet. But can I get it on the chart? I'm trying to see that. Is it possible to get that particular thing? So I'm going to go here on the series labels. I'm going to turn it on and watch it. So if I could see something like this is really amazing because this makes my life a little easier. So if I could make this chart a little more bigger, I can get rid of the legend if I'm going to get it over here. But it's purely your choice whether you would love to see it this way or you would like to see this way. Okay. So series label is something which you can think about when you have a stacked area chart. I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to leave it in the way how it was earlier. All right, anything special about it? There's something called total labels. Remember, we are talking about stacked. So obviously, what's the total put together should appear on the top. So this 138.19 million is the total of all these numbered together. All right, so that's what you're seeing on top of it. I'm gonna turn it off. I don't need that right now, but definitely yes, if you need, you can bring it on. So that's your stacked area chart. So check out these options and explore. It's going to be quite interesting. So I'm going to give you this file, this Excel file for you to download and start creating the three visuals: the area, the line, and the stacked area. Okay. To quickly wind it up before we go to the end of this video, remember line chart is needed when you're analyzing one numerical data over a period, like the sales, yearly sales or quarterly sales or monthly sales trend. If you want to study the line chart, absolutely can go for it. Area chart when you're trying to study a cumulative number over a period, and that's where area chart comes into play. Stacked area chart when you're analyzing categorical numerical over a period of time. You want to know the trend of it and the volume contribution, then stacked area really does good, which you can do it by even using the stacked bar chart or the stacked column chart. Okay, but this gives you the trend as well. That's where the stacked area chart makes a big difference compared to the stacked column chart. All right, so with this we have come to the end of this video. In this video we have talked about the line chart, the area chart, and the stacked area chart. Go ahead, explore and try creating yourself, and let me know in case of any queries. Please mention it in the comment section. I'll be happy to help you out over there. All right, we will again meet up in the next video with another visual. Until then, take care of yourself. Signing off, Hariharan.